Hey guys, thanks for stopping in for another episode of I Want That Reviews. My name's Chris, and today we're going to be taking a look at the CompTek Type 1 muzzle brake from Armageddon Tactical. Now, this guy has a retail price on their website of $99 even. It's made of 4140 steel, and then is melanite or QPQ treated to give it a very nice resistant finish. This is the brake that's for the 5.56-223. They do very strongly on their site recommend it not be used for anything other for obvious reasons. It's manufactured with a large internal gas expansion chamber. It's got top ports to direct blast up and control muzzle rise. And then the remaining gas is vented to the side through these large vents to reduce felt recoil. And it does weigh in at 4.8 ounces, so it is relatively manageable. When I pulled it out of the package, I first noticed the finish on it. It's got a very nice melanite finish with their company logo laser engraved in it. And I thought that it looked very impressive. It's got a very nice design. It's got a recessed and relatively sharp crown on it, so that if there was some reason that you had to use it for a muzzle strike, well, let's just say you wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it, because this would do some damage. As far as practical application and use, I've taken it out and I've put probably about 200-300 rounds through it at this point. I do notice that it does control rise and it does reduce felt recoil. I would say felt recoil is reduced by probably about half. That's not to say that there's huge recoil with a 223 round, but if you're somebody that really wants to try to minimize the amount of recoil that's coming through your gun, this does a pretty good job of managing that. So it worked. I thought it worked very well. It is very loud. That's obviously par for the course with a brake. With it directing those gases out, it also directs a lot of that sound back at the shooter. With that being said, it's not as loud as some that I have used. It is loud, but I've used a couple other brakes in the past that I've reviewed here that really kick back some more sound. So it's not too bad, but just keep in mind, if you're one that goes to a sanctioned range on a regular basis, you're probably not going to make a whole lot of friends in your neighboring lanes. As far as likes go, the functionality, the fact that it does what it's supposed to do, it manages muzzle rise as well as felt recoil. That was a big like for me. I really like the finish. The melanite finish is something that I've always been a fan of. It just stands up real well. So the finish was a big thing for me. And I really like the design. It looks good, and it seems to be a pretty functional, well thought out piece. As far as dislikes go, as I said earlier, it still seems a bit large, but that's something that's manageable. If you've got a shorter rail, obviously that's something that you're going to notice more. If you're someone that's running a 15-inch rail, or even a 16-inch rail, a rail that comes all the way up to the tip of your barrel, and you're going to run this guy, it actually looks quite good like that. I'm quite impressed with how it looks on this gun specifically. The other dislike obviously is the level of volume. It is very loud. That's a minor dislike. It's not something that would detract me from it. So overall, I'm going to give this guy 5 out of 5 stars. I do think that it's worth the money. They're a newer company, and I do think that they've got a pretty good product here in this one. Another thing that Armageddon has done is they are making a proprietary crush washer that's manufactured with a groove in the center of it that's actually a collapse point. I've found that these tend to be a little easier to crank on when you're using, I've got one on this. Actually, I think I'm running one on all of my rifles right now. But they crush a little easier than a standard crush washer. They don't take quite as much force, but at the same time, they still retain that pressure to keep your device where it needs to be. So these are some pretty awesome products that they sell as well. I would definitely recommend taking a look at those. But I'll include a link to their website in the description below, as well as a link to their Facebook page so you can get over and take a look. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So just keep checking back on a weekly basis for more reviews of awesome products just like these that'll have you saying, I want that.